Thanks to the tireless work of the Godolphin Commission, the world now knows the real roles we played in the Woods tragedy. We liberated our peers from sadistic imprisonment and torture at the hands of Indira Shetty and her vicious human administration. And though it's a blessing to be exonerated after being wrongfully accused, we will continue to question why this abuse of young heroes ever happened. Thank you.
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Steve.
And this is going to be a spoiler-full podcast about Gen V Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. And yeah, we're a little bit late to the game, everybody. The show has ended. It started in September, ended in October-ish, like towards the end of September.
But now they can all binge watch it and then they can laugh at us.
Yeah,
as we slowly rewatch it ourselves. You know, they can laugh at our theories and our mistakes and what we get wrong, and they'll be like, well, we know where this is going, but you don't. So,
yeah. But the thing is, it's like we knew that there was a lot of stuff coming out content wise.
Yeah,
and we did
big.
Yeah, and we know our friends out there in TV podcast industries, other podcasts that are out there that are covering it, have done it due diligence. Actually, I think Derek and John actually finished up not too recently with Gen V with their coverage.
Yeah, I think so.
Too.
I think they were a little behind on it as well. But they just finished their Marvel Zombies coverage, or they just recently finished their Marvel Zombies coverage.
Yes, they did.
And they were a little behind on that one.
They were doing it episodically, though. You and I just did it cumulatively as like a whole movie. Yeah. So I thought that was better in our sense of giving you a whole just desserts of that. With this, we're going to do it 2 episodes at a time. So we're giving you episodes 1 and 2. The first episode entitled, New Year, New You, and episode 2 entitled Justice Never Forgets. So if you want, Steve, we could go through this episodically, or we could go through it and you could give both synopses at the same time.
Yeah, let's do. My notes are kind of separated, but I'm sure we'll pepper in things for both. But we'll do them. Let's do them one at a time, just to kind of keep it straight. We may jump around a little bit, but so the synopsis for New Year, New You is: welcome to a new year at God U. Check out all the super security upgrades around campus. Hear from our new fearless leader, Dean Cipher, during a special welcome assembly. Reunite with your old friends in our brand new Victoria Newman Student Union and make new friends through our revitalized, robust Greek life. This year will be way better than last year, and we can't wait. How was that? That was my announcer voice.
Yeah, there you go. It works.
I have to make a comment before we start.
Yeah.
My general consensus is they basically did a whole reset of the entire first season. Like literally, almost literally an entire reset. They give us a verbal, word salad of, the Vought chemical that kills Zoops. We figured it out. We've gotten rid of it all. It's gone. Yeah. Victoria Newman's dead. Robert Singer's dead. The Guardians of Godolphin are all, what's that word? They're all cleared of any wrongdoing, and they can come back to, even Marie, once she does come back. It's like they completely reset the entire thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't go back and rewatch. I wanted to, but wasn't there like an end credit scene where like Billy Butcher came in and saw them in their cell at Elmira?
Yes.
Right. That's not even a mention of that here.
There's not even a mention of it. It's still there on Prime, so you can still see it. We do get to see them being accosted at the end. Emma, Jordan, and everybody else that was captured by Homelander and the other suits that were there from Vought.
Yeah, I mean, there's still ramifications from what they did, but like Kate made Sam forget that he was the one that really instigated all of it.
Yep.
And So it kind of bugged me a little bit when I watched it the first time, because I was very confused when
Yeah,
I watched it the first time, because I was like, wait, what, did I miss something here? Because like they're talking about a whole bunch of stuff that happened off screen with like
true.
Andre and
Well,
stuff.
the issue with Andre, unfortunately, when it came to Andre's the the the, the actor who portrayed him, he died in real life. So
Oh,
they
okay. See, I
had
wasn't
to,
aware of that. So
yeah,
they had to do
yeah,
something off screen to,
yeah.
okay, okay.
I forgot about that. I'm forgetting his name, and it's really sad that I am, but I will look for that. And the
Yeah,
thing
I'm sorry.
is,
I was not aware of that. So that makes sense of why they had to do all that off screen stuff.
yeah, it
Um,
was so sad for the fact that the actor himself had passed away,
right. Okay.
and it was just like, whoa, how are they gonna fix this? Because the last time we saw him was at the end credit scene in the hospital with both Emma and Jordan
Yeah, where they
and
well, they were in the cells where they said no windows, no doors,
Marie.
and then Billy Butcher comes in, and that's it. Like I said, there's no mention of that
Correct.
of Butcher, you know.
Yeah,
So it kind
it
of
was
bothered me a
Chance
little bit.
Perdomo who
Okay,
actually played that. And
okay,
as I recall, if I look for it as you're speaking, but the thing is Chance was such a big part of the original first season. They had to do some editing and
okay,
to
okay,
make it work.
okay. I can
eh,
forgive a little bit then of them kind of
yeah,
resetting things.
yeah, he died of a from injuries sustaining from a motorcycle accident in upstate
Okay.
New York, not too far
Mm,
from me, probably.
wow.
And
Okay.
the family has stated is he was the only person that survived involved in the crash. He was the only person involved in the crash. His death was announced by his family and shocked, his Gen V and chilling adventures of Sabrina co-stars and producers. So that led to
Mm,
the restructure and rewriting of this. But
okay.
also, if you watch the episodes as they start from the very beginning to, well, we only saw the first two at this point. I only did a rewatch of the first two because that's as far as I got in
Yeah,
everybody.
that's all I've watched. So
But the the actor who portrays his father in the show, it he was very very good at it because he does so much. That would be Professor Polarity.
yeah,
Uh,
and he's going to play a big part in the season, is what it looks like from the first
yeah,
couple
Sean
episodes.
Patrick
So
Thomas takes the heat of everything, but also fueling the fire of that particular character, his son, who
yeah,
has
yeah,
passed away due to VOT at this point. But the last time we actually did physically see him was in that last episode.
yeah.
And
Okay.
it's sad not to have Chance there. And I thought he was a solid character and actor. And oh my God, it's so sad that we have to lose these people in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And he had
Hmm.
a lot to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like I said, so that kind of okay, that's kind of softens a little bit.
Yeah,
Them having to restructure it and kind of redo everything. But it still doesn't there still is a lot of things that we'll go through as we go through
yeah, we're
our
gonna
discussion of the
talk
episode,
through
because
everything.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of things that happen in this first episode,
Mhm.
setting things up for the entire season.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, we're seeing, yeah, go ahead.
Well, the first scene that we do get, which is very, very, very cool, but very 1960s if you think about it.
1967. Yeah,
There you
flashback
go.
to 1967. We got Dr. Godolkin running to the
There you
lab
go.
where the guy, he figures out that whatever they're going to do to themselves, we still don't know exactly. There's a little mysterious. It's bit gory. It was almost too much for me, I'm going to say that, really, because it was pretty
And the
gory.
song itself was for the time itself. It's too good to be true. I can't
Yeah.
take my eyes off of you, but yet their eyes were bloody and
Yeah, and these
everything
guys are
else.
spewing out blood everywhere, and
Yeah.
it was tough, but it definitely sets up the season for us to go, okay,
The
we're
tone.
seeing, yeah, it sets the tone, and we're seeing, okay, we're going back to not the original, because we know that the 1967 is pretty late for soups actually, because there were soups going back to the 30s and the 40s. Soldier Boy
Correct.
and Stormfront, and those heroes all go way back to like World War II. So so we know there was other stuff going on, but this is obviously some sort of experiment these guys were doing, trying to maybe do a super soldier kind of serum. I don't know. That's what it seems like. Not to jump too ahead, but we find out at the end of episode 2 that the whole Project Odessa thing was, that Marie was born out of that project.
Yes.
So we don't know the details of that. We don't know what that means. We don't know if it was genetic.
We do find out at the end of season 2 a little bit. There's a little bit of hint, and it's at a cliffhanger.
At the end of episode 2, they just tell us that it was Marie, and we see that her family is there, and there was some sort of genetic, coding going on, or something that they did. It seems like, because we know that Vought was taking kids and giving them the Vought serum, right?
Correct. In utero or whatever.
Or all the ones that we've seen were, I guess, it might have been in utero. We don't know.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly to what extent Marie was genetically engineered.
Exactly.
Whether it goes all the way back to, her conception, or whether it was in utero also. We don't know.
Or if it was genetic from her mother and she was experimented on as well.
Right. We don't know. We know that like Starlight and some of the others were experimented on as kids, were given over either, like you said, in utero, or as infants,
as they were infants.
Yeah. And were given serums and stuff to become superheroes. We know that. So there was a lot of setup in this episode.
The one call out I like to say in the very beginning was so funny is the typical advertisements that we do get from Godalkin University and how interesting they are and how they are still there and it's like them exposing, we have our new dean, Cypher.
It's an all superhero staff now, that there's no longer any humans on staff. It's only superheroes teaching superheroes. So that's a change from season 1. They had a few human professors. They don't have that anymore.
Yep. It's almost like the movie Sky High from Disney, if you remember it.
Sure. Yeah. That was a while ago.
We got Bruce Campbell. Gym teacher.
So it just shows us like that sets up all these questions for who is Cypher, what are his powers. That's everybody's asking those questions in both the first couple episodes. We still don't know exactly what his powers are. He kind of hints at him when he tells Kate, when he kind of challenges her, and he says,
yes,
well, why don't you try to read my mind? You wouldn't like it if you saw what's in there. So so we don't know whether his powers are some sort of mental thing or something else.
Well, Kate's powers actually run even deeper than just touching somebody. She could actually do something else.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is we see in this first episode, and it's going to bleed into the second episode, of the things of their powers, the leveling up of their powers, of the enhancing of their powers. And some of it is a little, again, it's one of those things where they just make these jumps that I just don't, that they don't show us how, and again, I guess we're blending the two episodes now, because Emma, particularly Emma's powers. Okay.
Correct.
We see her when the guy kind of is belittling her and bullying her, she shrinks down and she gets small all of a sudden. And she's trying to get big, and she's in the bathroom trying to get big, and she can't get big. And so finally she puts on the little dress from the tiki, and just embraces her being small. And hey, who else wants to throw me and stuff like that. And but then, and this is kind of bugs me a little bit that they didn't show us, is we have this scene of her carrying this phone so that she can go, hey,
she steals the guy's phone
on this phone, and she's carrying this phone and she's showing it to Jordan, and then blink, and the next scene, she's big again. She's regular size again.
She's regular size, but in their room, but she's eating.
Yeah, she's she's in the room. She's dressed. She's like, some time has gone by.
It's as if like, okay, let's shoot forward. Let's say 40 minutes of her what was it? It was Jordan grabbing her as a little person with the phone, going back to the dorm room.
We don't see any of that. We don't see any of that at all. We don't see her eating. We don't see her doing anything to get big again. She's big again. And I'm just like, wasn't she just in the bathroom, like, and she wasn't able to do it? Like, it also stems from last season when at one point she grew big and she didn't have to do much of anything to do that, or even and she does that in
episode 2
where she gets
anymore.
Big. Yeah,
and she doesn't have to throw up anymore to get small anymore.
That's
she's embraced her powers at this point. She's elevated, as we saw, but in this case, it's unseen elevation of her powers.
Yeah, it just kind of bugged me that they just didn't. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. For me, there's a fine line between treating us like we're stupid, but also treating the audience like we're too smart. Like,
and give us a little more continuity, a little bit.
Exactly. Continuity. I want some continuity to understand what's going on.
I get it.
Why, don't just give me a leap of suddenly going, she suddenly can figure out how to do it. Whereas before she was trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
She knew she was doing it instinctively, but she couldn't figure out how to do it on
consciously.
Command. Yeah. Or on command. Consciously on command. And so the same thing happens in episode 2 when she gets small again from being big. We don't see that transition. We don't see how did she get back from, she gets all excited with it. I got big without having to eat anything. Well, yeah, but then you got small again and you didn't acknowledge to us, how did you do it? Did you concentrate on something? Did you, did it?
I think she's not in control of her powers.
Then tell us that. But that's what I'm saying is they're not telling us either way.
I know.
They're not giving us either side of it. Either tell us that she's in control of it or tell us that she doesn't have any control over it.
They need to have that, her saying, I don't know what I'm doing to make this happen.
Right.
It just happens at times.
Yeah.
And it's some sort of context to the point where it's like, okay, we could accept this because she can't. It's either she's super relaxed and is able to do it and think about it for half a moment, and it just happens, and then or out of the blue,
just give me something. Give me something. Whether it's I don't understand. I don't know why this is happening.
Writers, just give us that little nugget. Is what we're saying.
Something.
Yeah.
I just want some sort of, like you said, continuity, consistency.
Yeah.
Of what, okay. Here's the other thing. If it's not going to be consistent, then tell us that. If it's going to be consistent, then make it consistent and tell us it's going to be consistent.
Do a little like comic book subtext at the bottom right-hand corner of our screen.
Just give me
state it.
Yeah, give me something to understand what this transition is and where, because the same with Marie. We saw Marie use her blood powers in the first episode. She has to cut herself in order to fight off those guys.
But she's always had to cut herself at certain points, or use people's blood.
But then at the end of the first season, she started to discover that she didn't have to. That she could manipulate people's blood just by concentrating on them. Right?
Yes.
What's happened to that?
It's kind of like you said. It's almost a reset.
Yeah. And so I'm just a little confused. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Or is this a way to trap, get people involved who didn't watch season 1?
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Part of me is thinking that this whole reset it's trying to get people involved who didn't watch season 1,
or even watch The Boys,
or that didn't watch The Boys. But also it's giving enough to those of us who did watch those shows.
Yeah.
To keep us enthralled, like the fact that Starlight showed up. I did not expect Starlight. I didn't know she was going to show up out of the blue. The same,
or even the Deep.
Yeah, and his cameo in the second episode. I wonder if this is going to be a consistent thing to where every episode we're going to get a different member of the 7
of the Vought. Yes,
doing a brief cameo.
I think Homelander's on the way too at certain points.
I would think they're hitting at it. Yeah, they're hitting at Homelander, but I'm not sure what his status. I don't know. That's I'd have to go back and rewatch The Boys because I can't remember how that ended. But it just I'm just
well, it was
like I
the
said,
end of Gen V. We saw Homelander show up.
right.
Remember?
We saw him show up, and yeah, and that's right. And there's still people who, and like Starlight's still on the run to where everybody thinks that her followers are a bunch of pedophiles, and everybody believes that Homelander is the great hero again. Okay, that's right. Okay, so that's where we're at. Where we're at now is Homelander is back being the big hero again. And Starlight is the villain in the eyes of the people. We know it's different. We know it's not that way.
Yeah,
But,
I know that.
so yeah, so I again a lot of things were setting up in this first episode to where it's enough to keep me watching. I'm not turning away from it, obviously. We're gonna keep following it, but it just, a lot of this first episode was set up. Even the very end, the kind of cliffhanger ending we get where Kate attacks Jordan attacks Kate there at the end.
Yes.
And Marie goes to start to help her, and Jordan says, "Stop! You can't touch her, because if you touch her, she'll be able to possess you or be able to control your mind." And so they just have to sit there and watch her. And if you watch the previews for the season at the end of the first episode, and which happens in the very first scene of of episode 2 anyway, so it's not a big spoiler or anything. Kate is not dead. She's in the hospital. She's alive. And obviously,
spoilers.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying is if you just watched the end of the first episode and saw the previews for the next episode, you heard Dean Cypher say, "Oh, she's not dead. She's in the hospital."
Yeah, I know.
So we get that already in. In fact, I put that in my notes for episode 2 to mention, and then I realized how quickly it happens at the beginning of episode 2, and I was like, well, okay, I guess it's happening right at the beginning of episode 2, where they're revealing to us that Kate is alive. She's in the hospital. And then, of course, we're going to see in episode 2, Kate level up. But I don't know. That's all I've got really for episode 1. So whatever you got for episode 1 before we move on.
I loved it for the original crew, Emma, Jordan, and stating in front of the press as they were persuaded to state about Shetty and her vicious administration to do what they did. So it was literally them being convinced. It was like, here, drink the Kool-Aid, be within God you, and be our focus group of our wonderful heroes of the school.
Yeah, and I liked seeing the difference between Emma, the way Emma kind of took it to where, okay, I'm saying this, but obviously I'm not believing it. And then, almost drinking herself into oblivion because she doesn't want to think about what Kate did for them to let them back in, and what she did to Sam. But then Jordan taking the opposite of going, no, this is the best way for us to be safe, is for us to go along to get along, kind of thing. So yeah, I thought that was good too. I thought it was the frat boy scene with the guy, sucking up the beer and then shooting it back. It's in my eyes. I'm gonna get pink eye.
Oh, exactly right. Oh yeah.
That was nasty.
I like the flipped like commercial for the movie Flip that they did with Sam. And I thought that was interesting because that's kind of like borders on his issues with relationships and his own sexuality, I think. And this was a little callback to the movie The Switch from 1991 with Ellen Barkin, where she switches genders. She went from a man to a woman, and which was the man turned into Ellen Barkin. And then that's where this came from, because I think they showed Kate as the girl, and he was, and then they flipped. It was almost like a Freaky Friday moment.
Yeah, okay. You got a better understanding of that than I did. I kind of glossed over.
I caught that right away. It was like one of those little off things, but I think this is more in where they're gonna figure out where Sam's development is as a person and his own sexuality, but also of his own person, of who he really is as a person, right and wrong, because he struggles with the idea of what's right and
Right.
what's wrong.
Well, and what's he going to do now that he doesn't have Kate's influence of changing his memories,
As well.
so
And
making
then
him
on top
forget.
of that, he
So
doesn't have Emma anymore, and they have this striking glance across from one another during the cafeteria scene at one point, I think in episode 2. And it's like she like, oh, I was with you and I was trying to help you, and ooh, it's like that kitty kind of thing, you know. Um, and then we got Marie and her counter at the supermarket getting that Maeve bar from that one guy who they wind up pinning on her that she killed him, which was
they
oh no, it was somebody else.
they pin the attack on Kate on him
Correct.
as being, and they put it as to a hero attack by the Starlighters, and that he's a Starlighter and he attacked Kate,
And then she killed him in response. Yeah. Because he wound up dead, because that's what happened.
I'm trying to remember now, because I have to. It was such a these two up. I mean,
I know.
Okay, that was a very difficult part to follow. I'm not gonna lie.
It was.
It ended up not really meaning anything, because Cypher knew who really attacked Kate.
Yes,
he was definitely indicating that he knew
that Marie and
that it was
Jordan
Marie
and Emma were there.
Yeah. So he knew that it wasn't true, and no, Dog killed that guy. Dog shot that guy.
Yes,
the dog hunter.
The dog hunter.
That's what you had me. You had me confused. Yeah, no, the dog hunter, the dog guy, Dog Knot, whatever his name is. He supposedly hunted that guy down, and he's the one that shot and killed him.
Yes, but they blamed it on.
But they blamed the whole attack on Kate on that guy, and then Dog Knot killed that guy. So there was no way to check up on the story. So that kind of ended.
And Dog was gone too at that point.
And Dog Knot. We haven't seen him since they showed that little clip of him saying how he shot and killed the guy. I don't think we see any other thing of him in episode 2.
I like that Emma goes back to the Andersons' homes and meets up with the professor himself.
Yeah.
I thought
he
it
ends
was
up coming to the school. Yeah, I thought he ends up coming to the school and going to be a professor there to help, and he helps Emma get into the records room where they find all the Nazi stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now we're getting into episode 2.
Yes.
So have you finished all your stuff for episode 1? I want to make sure.
Yeah. We already got through. You already mentioned Kate with the cliffhanger ending of she was possibly dead, but she's not really dead.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Cypher and how he took her one arm and was ready to put it into the blender like Goonie style.
Yeah, before she agreed to return to school and not rock the boat, not shake things up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought all that was really great. Marie coming back and trying to do her apology video.
Oh God, that was so hard to watch.
was just her trying to get the words out, and well, at least you did it without crying this time, and all was. I love, and what the only quote I have from either episode 2 though was when they are doing that filming and when they get ready to do one of the final takes, and Emma says, "Okay, give me more but less."
But yet she's in a class about social media by somebody else too.
Yeah.
And it's the talk
by
about
the firecracker woman. What's her name? Yeah, firecracker. What's her name? Firecracker.
I forgot her name. I have it written here somewhere.
The right wing woman to Homelander's.
Modesty Monarch. That's her name.
Oh yeah, no, she's one. I'm sorry, yeah, she's the one doing the class, but Firecracker is the one who's doing all the news. Reports.
Yes, Firecracker is the new
conservative
almost
show,
almost like what we got from The Boys. From I'm forgetting her name, and I have it right here in front of my face. Where is she? I try to keep everybody's face in there in front of me.
I liked it while you're doing that. Yeah.
Stormfront was originally who we
Stormfront.
Found out to be a white
Nazi.
supremacist.
Yeah, white supremacist Nazi. Yeah, I liked it. I liked that Cypher admitted that he was in Elmira.
Yeah.
To Marie. He said, okay, I know you saw me there. I saw you there. So let's just not like, I like this character of Cypher in that on one hand, he's very cut to the chase, but he's also very mysterious at the same time.
Yeah. He's like right in your face. He'll tell you a blatant truth and right to your face and saying, yeah, I'm going to kill you. And then he's very mysterious about his own tactics at times.
Yeah. And then he's very clear about you're not here to be students, you're here to be soldiers.
That whole Professor X danger room scenario that he does with them.
That was wild. That fight with the guy with the hammer.
Yep. It was like Thor on acid, and he just takes out. She goes, he broke his spine, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, well, you got the buzzer, didn't you?
And Cypher's like, yeah, but he'll heal.
And he's like all mangled.
Yeah, he'll be fine, maybe. But Cypher's take on it is he's either going to be fine or he's not, and then we'll move on to somebody else. You're the ones who are here because I chose you to be here, but you're also the only ones that are strong enough to be here right now.
Exactly,
is kind of his thing. He said, but once somebody else gets strong enough, then they'll move up into this class, and that the whole hero, what do you call it? Hero optimization class.
Yes,
was what I have it in my notes.
Here. It's literally him training them to be killers. Yeah, honestly, exactly. That's what it is. Not to be heroes, everybody.
I thought when Emma, and I didn't even realize that she had been smoking weed before. She and Professor Polarity went to the records room.
Oh,
her acting high was just hilarious,
especially with the member.
With the member, yeah. Oh, I know you. I remember you. I
watched all your movies.
I watched all your shows,
and she's reciting them.
Yeah, she was great. And they find that room with all the Nazi stuff in it that obviously is a hint to Stormfront.
Yes.
There, and she finds the Odessa file and then gets big all of a sudden, and she's all excited because she got big. But then again, like we talked about, she gets small again without any kind of pretext. She just gets small again.
It was probably the weed.
Maybe. I don't know.
It relaxed her.
I thought when we see Marie and Jordan hook up, I thought it was an interesting choice of music to be the outfields.
Yes.
I just want to use your love. And it was a female singer cover of the outfield.
Yes.
It took me a second as I'm listening to it, I know that song, but that's not the right singer. It's like, because I'm so used to hearing the outfields version of it. I don't think I've ever heard a cover of that song. I've definitely not heard a cover of that song by a female artist. So that was interesting. I don't know if you've got that in your notes anywhere.
No, I didn't. I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't do any needle drops, unfortunately.
But I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting too, that, at the beginning of that whole little makeout session and hookup session, Jordan asks, this is okay. And Marie's like, of course, anything you do is okay. And then at the end of it, she switches back to male Jordan. Yeah. And they start kind of, hooking up again as that. So I don't know if that's going to be a weird throuple.
I don't think it's a throuple. It's the same person, just two different versions, because we saw Jordan do that midway through the Danger Room experience.
I know, but what I'm saying is, but we've never seen her do that with a partner. We've never seen her do that with a sexual partner before. So that's why I'm calling it a throuple. That's what I'm calling, because it's three different people. Just one of them is in the same body. One of them is in the same body, but it's still three different people. So
it works.
I don't know what you would call it. It was weird, no matter what. But
well, the show is all weird. We all know this.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Emma seeing Rufus in the cafeteria. I thought that was hilarious. And then calling him out on not having a penis and having to pee while sitting down. Him stating that it feels comfortable.
Comfortable.
And she stopped Rufus's bad behavior at that point, like shuts him down. And then Andre's dad, obviously, Professor Polarity coming in and to Emma's aid at that point, and that's where they get their whole little conversation. He even says, she goes, I'm on Adderall, I'm on this because he doesn't realize it, and then she realized he's on their side, so she sees that he's going more extremism,
Yeah,
but
he's going way more extreme. I'll burn this place to the
and
ground.
she wants it more subtle, so they're trying
Yeah.
to make it work in between, and that's why they do the break-in. And they
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
information, and they get Marie's file, which I thought was amazing. And then
Yeah.
you could see Marie's face. We don't get to see the whole file.
I was so tempted to go on. I was watching when I was rewatching this the other day for my second viewing of it. It was hard not to go to the next episode. So I was like, I know I could just take a peek.
I could just do it one.
No, I'll wait until Mark and I talk about it, and that way,
Yeah.
And then I'll wait to listen to anybody else's coverage of it because I don't want to get tainted by somebody else what they thought. But
I know.
That ending where she's reading that file and we see that picture of her and her parents there, going, whoa, that was just a heartbreaker for one thing, because knowing what she did to her parents, what she, by accident, obviously, but still. And
I love the 2 and 2 thing from Sam at the fraternity house, where he's kind of a little bit out of it. He was doing drugs too, but we got the Deep there, and he's doing the whole induction ceremony for that frat. And they find out that Emma, Sam finds out that Emma took this guy's phone. The guy was there. And he goes, yeah, she used it to get an Uber to Weehawken, New Jersey.
And he puts it together that they were in Weehawken.
Yeah.
What happened to Kate?
Yeah, I thought that it's good that they did it collectively to get this information out there. Now, mind you, there's always a little bit stuff, and like you said it before, with the first episode of the season, there was stuff missing off screen. Mm-hmm. Now, within this one, we get a little bit more, but not too much is missing, but there's always something missing.
Yeah.
But we at least were able to follow the story at this point. I think it was a hiccup because of everything that had happened when we lost the actor who played Andre. And it's a sad thing. So they had to do a lot of rewrites. They had to figure out, how are we going to get this story? I'm sure they had something in place and involved within the very beginning, and then they had to rewrite it because he was probably part of that picture. And I'm pretty sure that's where they
like
went.
I said, you schooled me on the fact that the actor had passed away. So obviously they had to do probably some major rewrites of the season, and at some point probably maybe Sam ended up, I don't know, we'll find out as we go through the season. I know there's some big, from what I remember, the clickbait news stuff that I saw, there's going to be some big revelations that are to come here in the next few weeks as we watch the next 6 episodes. 8, right? It's 8 total, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah. So but that's that's all I got for these
same
2
here.
episodes. I know it's short. It's a little kind of short, but these 2 episodes are really setting us up for the season. I'm intrigued. I want to see what this Project Odessa is. I want to see how deep it goes. I want to see what happened to Dr. Godolkin after, because it doesn't, he doesn't pull the fire alarm there in that flashback in the first episode.
There's got to be some sort of follow-up to that.
But we got to get something about him, because we know he's still, he lives through that 1967 experience apparently. So is he still around? What's he doing? Again, what does Dean Cypher have to do with it? What are his powers? So I'm
he's like Mr. Sinister.
there's enough there in these first 2 episodes to keep me hooked. To keep me going. But again, I'll just reiterate what I said at the very beginning is I was kind of bothered by the reset. I'm not as bothered by the reset now, because obviously they lost an actor. They had to do some retooling and stuff. So I'm ready to push on and see what the rest of the season has to offer us. I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here.
All right, cool. I have no additional notes. I pretty much brought up everything I thought of. The only thing I have here are 3 quotes from this particular episode, which I thought was pretty funny. It was Cypher to Marie saying, "Your guilt must be at masturbator levels, but it's not your fault." And that was regarding what had happened and why she came back and to the school. The next one would be Modesty Monarch. That would be the woman where they were she was like the social media guru.
Yeah, social media guru, and she was trying to get Emma because Emma had the second biggest social media presence on, or Kate. Was it Kate? No, Emma.
No, it's Emma.
Because Kate's in the hospital. That's right. We didn't talk about that. Kate possessing the nurse and going on from there. So Kate leveling up in her powers. So go ahead, Modesty Monarch.
Modesty Monarch saying to Emma, saying no, to the class, saying, well, my new book and my web series is going to be called Super in the Streets but Obedient in the Sheets. And that's about her monologue about her web series.
Yeah.
The last one I would have would be to Jordan, saying everything and anything you do is okay. And that was after that little bit of lovemaking.
Yeah.
That whole tryst, as you would call it. A throuple.
Yeah.
But that's all I have within it. As far as you guys know, next week we'll be covering this as we usually do. So we're going to continue on with Gen V season 2, but we're going to cover episodes 3 and 4. I don't have those episodes titled or titles or anything like that.
I didn't look them up yet, so.
But we will be talking about that. I will definitely put in some sort of post regarding that, so you guys send in some feedback. Right now in the podcast, as we come closer to the end, podcast recommendations. Do you have any?
Yeah, I haven't listened to the first episode yet, but I listened to the preview for it. I'm kind of excited. Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk have started a podcast called Once We Were Spacemen.
Yep.
It comes out on Wednesdays. They published their first episode, and I guess the second episode is available if you get on their Patreon. I'm not on that yet, but so yeah, check out Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion, Once We Were Spacemen.
Yep. Yeah, and if you guys don't know what that's about, trust me, you'll know. I would always recommend our friends here on the Pirate Core Entertainment. That would be Becky and Mandy when they're doing their coverage of it. Welcome to Derry on What's On Tonight. So check that out on the piratecoreentertainment.com website. So check that out. Also, Podcastica is doing their own version on Wax Episodic with both Karen and Jason. So check that out as well. Just a little cheap plug.
Jason and Sean. Jason and Sean are doing the It. Welcome to Derry. Jason and Karen are doing Pluribus.
Oh, well, that's a good one. All right, that's another one to plug too.
Yeah.
Pluribus. We're not covering that, but I am watching Pluribus. So
yeah, the It Welcome to Derry is also available, I believe, on House Podcastica, because it's not just a Patreon only one. It's also available on House Podcastica.
Yes, because HBO has,
and I think they published the first episode on Strange Indeeds. Just as a teaser for people, because I saw it come out on my.
Oh yeah, because we got a teaser of Stranger Things for you on YouTube. If you go to Netflix on YouTube,
but because it's Sean with Jason for It. So
cool.
Sean was the original host with Rima on Strange Indeed. So.
Yep, that is true. All right, so like I mentioned before. You could submit your feedback. I haven't posted anything yet. I didn't post anything about Gen V yet. The reason why is we knew we were going to get around to it. Just didn't know when we were going to get around to it. So we're going to get to you this at least weekly. This week, you're getting this particular episode. The following week, you'll get episodes 2 and 3. Following that, 4 and 5.
3 and 4. 1 and 2. We're doing 1 and 2 today.
Yep.
Come on, Mark. Get with the program.
I can't
today,
count.
3 and 4. It's easy. They go. 3 and 4 next week, and then maybe 5 and 6 the week after that, and then Thanksgiving. Then we run into Thanksgiving, so we might have a little bit of a.
We might postpone it.
Might have a postpone because I'll be out of town for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we'll be out of pocket for about a week there.
That's fine. We'll find something to fill it in. Yeah. Maybe an Invincible episode with me and Jamie. Hopefully, I could do within the week. So, we got to get back into that and finish up the Invincible series. But you could easily send in feedback. Go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/panels to pixels. As I said, and I've always said, you could send it in the messenger thread that is on the messenger group that's on Facebook. It's fine. We'll get them. You could also email us at panels2pixels1@gmail.com. Panels2 is spelled out to pixels and the number 1@gmail.com. Just write out your thoughts. We'll, read them on the next time when we come on, or it doesn't matter what particular episode you're sending in that feedback for, we'll still read it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we can be found on YouTube. We can be found on Instagram. What's on Facebook is on Instagram. So literally all you have to do is send in feedback. We'll get it no matter what. And then, if you really feel the need, you could record yourself. We all have these cool nifty devices that we could record ourselves, and then you send it as an attachment in an email and we can play it. It's as if you're being on the podcast yourself. We more than welcome it. And as always, just go to the PyrocoreEntertainment.com website and follow all the links if you can't find them all. I already explained them where they are, but if you go to PyrocoreEntertainment.com, give us a like and a love and just follow us. Save it as a favorite. Go there, visit all the other episodes and podcasts that we do. And this leads into where else you could hear us. So I could be found on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast as always, as well as here, and the Pyrocore Entertainment Podcast. So not only do we have What's On Tonight podcast and Dinner for Her, you have the Pyrocore Music Podcast, which will be coming back soon. But you can find all the links there. All you have to do is go to that one website and you're done. And you can just follow us and then just send your thoughts. Steve could be found on the Adrenaline Cinema Podcast as well. He's done a bunch. Yeah. He's done a bunch. Yeah, you did a bunch of podcasts with me there as well. You could also hear all the other stuff, older podcasts from Fantasy Picks Movie Edition and stuff like that.
There you go.
And Steve,
obviously I can be here right here on Panels to Pixels podcast. And of course, as I've stated before, my voice will pop up occasionally on other podcasts. I just guest hosted with Jason for a episode of the rewatch of The Walking Dead, season 5, episode 4, self-help. I think 4 or 5 episode, which episode it was. Self-help. I guest hosted on that one with Jason. My voice can be heard sending voicemails into various other podcasts, and occasionally I'll pop up somewhere here or there. You never know.
All right. And like I said before, you could hear us next week as we are covering Gen V episodes 3 and 4 of season 2. So with that, I just want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Steve.
And same podcast, different panel, different pixel. And this is Panels to Pixels podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next panel. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.